It is the Riot Podcast.
Yay, it's back. Obi was out yesterday, so no podcast until now.
Yeah, so inside the podcast, we do talk about all that nerdy DC Fandome stuff. We also talk about Christmas creep, Halloween creep, the Almanac, the good book.
Well, for the Halloween creep, though, we talked about this thing in New Mexico that's opening up on September 4th. And I don't know if you put the part in there about would you pay for that? If you want to join in the conversation, like once you find out how much this thing is that anybody else feel like that's too much money? You're welcome to text us to 877-2-RADIO-U. Just put you're a podcast listener, your name, and if you think it's too much or not.
We also talk about my broken controller. We look at ways that we could add some fitness to our mornings.
Some real neat tips, right? To make it a better, more fulfilling morning.
Some fantastic food options never before heard of.
Actually, some good ones. You got McDonald's, Dominos, and Little Caesars.
And then Zack Snyder's Justice League and Obadiah's favorite COVID-19 outbreak.
Of all time, right?
It's my favorite one.
Favorite one so far. But, you know... Hopefully no one gets too sick, so we're just saying that.
Yeah, well,
just the situation around is humorous to us.
It is. So you guys enjoy the podcast.
Thanks for listening. Have a great day.
Bye.
The definition of insanity is putting the riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
So over the weekend, DC Comics had, or I guess just DC whatever, they had this event called Fandome, in which that was virtual, but they unveiled a lot of trailers and this and that's and the others. And a lot of people, wanted to know what I thought about the Batman trailer, which released on sometime over the weekend.
Yeah, wasn't it later on Sunday? Because then yesterday, even though Obi wasn't in, everybody was still talking about it.
It was actually Saturday.
It was Saturday?
Because I know. And so you know what? I thought it looked pretty good. The guy, I cannot remember the actor's name that they have playing Gordon, whether he's supposed to be Lieutenant Gordon or Commissioner, I don't know. Oh, gosh, what a great choice. And I think, like, Robert Pattinson seemed fine as the Batman. I'm a little, like, there's a moment where he,
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright, dude. He has one of the best voices in the universe.
Everybody was very excited when they saw him.
He's so good. He's so good. But I guess, I just thought it was fine. I thought
you were going to be more excited about it.
I wasn't super excited, but I also wasn't mad about it or anything. I just thought, this looks pretty good. My thought was, okay, here comes my, cynicism.
I thought we were going to be more positive.
No, but it's not about the movie, but it was just one of those things where I looked at it and I was like, I wonder if I'll ever get to see it.
It's not going to be out for quite some time. It's over a year away.
And I watched the trailer. I think I ended up watching it twice because I kind of wanted to look at it again. I thought their Catwoman take looked interesting. The Riddler thing looked interesting. I just thought the whole thing, I guess that's the thought I kept having. This looks interesting.
Am I ever going to see it?
I'm curious as to where it's going to go. Yeah, and the end of it was like only in theaters.
Well, it's not even finished filming it, so if it comes out,
right?
It would be. It's October next year.
That's how I feel about it.
What'd you think of the car?
It's fine.
See, I thought it looked really neat.
Oh,
I was
really?
way more into it. I hate Batman stuff, but I thought the trailer was great.
Well, okay, that's good. Because that means that maybe they could get, the normies.
I liked it because it looked more like, that is what I would think a car would turn into or what it would be. And I really liked how more angry he seemed. More violent.
Do you know what's funny about that is
everyone was wanting that.
That was actually the part of it that made me go,
oh, you didn't like that part?
Yeah, like at one point Batman beats a fool. Yeah, and that's one of those things where I was like, okay. The take on Batman continues to be more and more, look how psychologically unbalanced this man must be. And I have a tendency to lean back on the more, he had a traumatic event, he dealt with it, and now he's trying to keep that traumatic event from happening to other people.
Sure.
But other people are like, no, he's unhinged, he's broken. And that seems to be what some people kind of want out of Batman.
Sure.
I'm not that guy. So, you know what, Nikki? It's just...
You know what? I thought he'd be more excited, guys.
Oh, no,
we were all excited.
But see, I'm not... This is me truly interested in something. So, like, I didn't jump up and down when I saw it, but I walked away going, yeah, okay.
And if we ever see it, those are the main thoughts.
I did. Hey.
That's the two. If we ever see the movie.
And that's a legitimate concern, by the way. Let's be real. We might never see it because the comet's coming.
The worst of the worst. Are you ready? The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
So, aside, Nikki, from the Batman trailer, which was huge over the weekend, I know, I'll tell you what I got excited about at the DC Fandome stuff was the trailer for Gotham Knights. That looks cool.
Is that a game? Yes.
That is the new Rocksteady game. They're the people that made Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, Batman Arkham Knight. So Gotham Knights allows you to play as Batgirl, Robin, Red Hood, or maybe Nightwing. I can't remember.
It sounds fine. It sounds good.
Truth be told, I only watched the demo that had Robin and Batgirl in it, but I know two other characters in it. It looks so good. Oh my gosh. Everybody's excitement for the Batman trailer. That was me watching Gotham Knights. I was like, oh, yes.
So when will this come out?
Probably never.
Probably never, but it's nice to dream.
It is. I'm excited about dreaming. That's what I'm doing. So that's what I did. That's where my excitement was in that, is that, it looked so good.
So it was also Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, and Red Hood.
Yeah, I got it. Look at me.
Good job.
Man, I'm back. I take a day off. I come back. I'm not even missing a beat. That's killer.
So they go head-to-head with Mr. Freeze.
Oh, it looks so good. I don't normally do this, but I watched the entire gameplay walkthrough.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was only like 10 minutes long, but normally I'd watch the beginning and start scrubbing through. No. They had me at hello, and I was with them the entire time. It looks so good. I cannot wait to get my hands on that game and play it. Yes.
Would this go out, though, like around the movie time, or is this something that they expect to go out just on its own?
You know what? They didn't say. It's like everything else that we're seeing right now. It just says 2021 on it.
Yeah, okay. So, whenever.
And then they're also making a Suicide Squad game, and that says 2022, which probably means 2025.
Because everything's just going to be pushed back.
Right. But I hope we get to play them both. And it looks like Suicide Squad takes place in like an alternate dimension where Superman's evil.
So do you feel like coming out of the DC, the fandom thing from the weekend, are people a little bit like, do they feel more excited about the stuff coming from...
They had a good showing.
Not saying people didn't like some of the DC stuff, but I felt like everything online I saw was more positive than I expected it to be.
Yeah, I don't know. They had a really good showing over the weekend. They really did. And I came out of it seeing stuff where I was like, yeah, that looks great. That looks great. It's almost like they did what they should have done in the first place and took their time and thought some things through and made some plans.
I watched the sort of like the behind the scenes thing for the next Suicide Squad movie, and they kept saying it's like, this is something new, or they're like, this is what they should have done. Like, they really want to make sure that you know that the first one doesn't count.
Yeah,
like, this is what they meant to do the entire time.
Under new management.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, listen, this Arby's hasn't gotten any better no matter what you hang on the sign.
They just want you to think about going, even if you hated the last one.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's, to me, the fact that they got, and his name is escaping me, the director from Guardians of the Galaxy, that is enough to where I'm like, oh, yeah.
Well, that's what they kept bringing up. So.
Yeah. So, like, you bring him in, you know that he's capable of taking something that shouldn't work at all and making it work really, really well.
At least make it be entertaining.
Right.
A Rotten Tomatoes score so high, they refuse to make it public. The Riot on RadioU.
You know, there's been a lot of bad news out there when it comes to 2020 and 2021 and so many things that have been canceled. But in the middle of all of this, a little bit of good Christmas news.
What do we got?
Well, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra has canceled their tour.
Okay, that is the good news, if that's what you're saying. A ray of sunshine has appeared. That's mean, though, because
I know, it's very mean.
I thought a certain crowd of people enjoyed the Siberian Orchestra.
They really like it.
You need to pick the beds that we have that sounds like what we think the Trans-Siberian
No, we have. I'm pretty sure this is. Wait. Isn't this?
I always admit it's like da-na, da-na-na, da-na-na.
Nope.
Something like those. This. Is that officially them, or is it just what sounds like it?
I think this might actually be them. Somebody... I just have a stack of stuff that's just like Christmas music. And so I don't know where all of it came from. But
we don't want to know.
No, it's fine. Like you know what? I know some people love it, and the first time I heard it, I was like, "This is awesome!"
The orchestra.
Yes, yeah. But then after a while, I was like, "What are we doing?"
So no tour for them?
No, they among many other people have canceled their tour, and I just have to wonder, Nikki, are these the first shots fired in the war on Christmas?
What else can be canceled? Are we talking like no tree lighting ceremonies? But what else is there? They can't cancel Christmas in our heart, so what else do they have to take?
They can, Nikki. Well, okay, Christmas in your heart is not canceled, but you have to wear a mask to it.
Yeah, and your presents. They were unable to go get you your presents, so you get nothing.
You know what? You get Christmas in your heart. You know what, though? I'd say we're all going to meet at the tree in Whoville, but that's canceled, too.
It's probably better we don't plan on that.
The mayor said that we can't go down there and sing no matter what the Grinch does.
So what? No one is still talking. No one's bringing up Halloween yet. And then I know Thanksgiving will be the talk right after. And then comes Christmas.
You thought they were bad live? Well, just wait until you hear this. The Worst of the Riot podcast with Obadiah and Nikki.
We were talking about the idea of Halloween being canceled and that it seems to be just a foregone conclusion.
I think everybody's kind of quiet on it because maybe we had our fill of cancellations, but I think most people understand it probably will happen.
So we'll see. We don't know. But I do know this, that are you guys familiar with Christmas creep? Christmas creep is that thing where every year Christmas stuff shows up a little earlier, like you're in Costco and they've got, Christmas trees in June.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Well, I'm calling this officially Halloween creep. And that's because Dragon's House of Horrors is opening their Halloween drive-thru.
This is what you're going to get this Halloween. You're going to drive through everything.
It opens up next Friday. Now, this is in New Mexico, if you're wondering where. It's in Albuquerque. But when I look at this, I feel like they're trying to get out there to get some scares in through their drive-thru before it gets shut down.
They want to let everybody know, which in this article it kind of shows that they're the first drive-thru haunted house experience in New Mexico, and they're first. So that's why they're starting now. And then everybody else will do their drive-thru experiences, which we mentioned was going to be the thing this Halloween.
It is going to be the thing.
So basically, you turn your radio to a certain station, and there'll be sounds going on around the vehicle.
Right.
And car windows do have to stay rolled up. The characters will not touch the car.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's something.
They're practicing new terrifying techniques that'll make you feel like they're all around you, even though the car is a barrier.
Maybe this takes off. And I'll say this. Last year, I wanted to go to this drive-through lights display.
Oh, for Christmas?
Yeah, and I went at whatever time, and to find out that I probably had a solid 4-hour wait in front of me before I actually got to the light display. And obviously, people were waiting. They were just like, yeah, man, we're just chilling. It's Saturday night. We're in our car. We're waiting.
I wonder how this will be because, are people just wanting? Are they dying to go out and do something?
Are they dying to see fake dying?
Yeah, or will they kind of pass on this? But for this place, they're going to do the drive-thru starting September 4th, like you mentioned, which is a Friday. It's only weekends until October. Once it's October, then it's every day.
Oh. So we could do drive-through Halloween scary times on like a Thursday afternoon.
You could, mate.
Well, I guess a Thursday night.
I think it's evening still. Because a lot of times the Halloween scare stuff is usually something that starts at the end of September.
Right.
But now you get it then.
Halloween creep. And again, it's just here because they're afraid they're going to get shut down. That's what I say.
They want to get an early job. I never thought about that. Did you see how much it is?
No.
Oh,
what?
Yes.
No.
I know.
It is not.
I know he said
it is not.
Okay, you ready,
everybody?
It
is not.
How much do we think it is per car to go through this dragon haunted house drive-through thing in New Mexico?
It is not.
Are we ready? It's $40 a car, which to me seems way too much money. At Christmas time, like the drive-through stuff's normally like $20 to go through. This, your windows have to stay rolled up and you're just driving through for $40.
No.
I think that feels expensive.
I can't help you. I can't be a part of that.
It doesn't say if there's a limit of like how many people can be in the car also.
There'll be like 2 people per car.
Yeah.
$40 per car.
Well, they want everybody to stay safe again, so you'll have to drive in your own car.
Wow. Not only are you already awake, but you're listening to The Riot? Your day is off to a pretty rough start. The Riot on Radio U.
So Nikki and I are looking at Dragon's House of Horrors, Mile of Terror.
It's the first drive-through haunted thing, which will be all that you see. We guarantee that.
It's gonna spread.
That's all that you see instead of the haunted house, like haunted forest things that you would normally see once Halloween comes around. Mm-hmm. But they just wanted to let you know that they're starting on September 4th, and you can't leave the car. You have to keep the windows up, but you could drive through for $40 a car, which we think is expensive.
Our question to you was, would you pay $40?
For a haunted drive-through thing?
All right, Tom says not a chance. John says no more than $20. Now, that's interesting because he's saying, yes, he would pay.
But not more than 20?
Yeah.
So does that count, John, if you had people in the car and you only ended up paying $20, or do you think $20 the entire thing? Because if you split the cost, they could be charging more.
Okay, Nick says, bruh, no way. Pete says if I could have 4 people in the car, yes.
See, that's a reasonable approach to it.
So he's saying like, hey, $10 a piece. Hey, I want you to know, I have been having that discussion with friends about that Bill and Ted's movie where we were like, hey, do you guys want to see it? Kinda. How many people would it take for us to get together to divide the cost up so that it would be worth renting it?
And they better cash you beforehand because you don't want to find yourself at the end of this haunted drive-through thing and you're $10 or $20 short.
Man, like, hey, everybody, before we get in line.
And you got the food.
Cash App, whatever.
Just
like
send it
money
first.
is exchanging.
And you know what? You get an attitude about it and you don't drive. The car doesn't move until you get the money.
Come on. Says the people that know what it's like to be stiffed at the end.
To be at the end and be like, well, okay, I guess I'll cover it.
I have. Or you just get that friend that's like, well, I'm not paying for the tax. We've had that happen.
And that happened a few times.
He says that's a hard no. Hard as in firm, not hard as in difficult choice. Let's see. Scott says Karen's going to freak out and step on the gas and kill everybody.
Well, let's not hope that happens.
I have actually kind of wondered that myself. Like, what happens when you really scare somebody and they're driving?
They got to be safe, which means that the performers are going to be a good distance away from the cars. Or you pull in and then you wait.
Justin, your optimism here. I definitely would not. Most Christmas displays in Oklahoma are free. They just ask for a donation of food or cash. Well, that's the big difference between, the heart and soul of Christmas and maybe what's going on down at the haunted drive-thru.
But you can try it. Bring a canned food item and see what they do.
They give you a discount. Just like, here,
we
each have a canned food item. So here's this canned food and $10.
See if they'll accept it and let you drive through.
See what they say.
Justin, what's the worst? They say no? But at least you tried.
And bring a can opener, and you'll have a snack in case they won't take it.
Oh, while you drive through, you shouldn't eat and drive. It's not safe.
You can have some boiled potatoes and
of corn.
Some corn, green beans.
Something like that.
It's a little something nice.
Just bring the canned food that you just didn't want to eat, so just send it along.
No, bring the stuff you want to in case they don't take it.
That's true.
Because you may end up having to eat it.
Thanks to everybody for texting, but I think the general consensus is that the answer would be no, $40 is a bit too much for the haunted drive-thru. I go down a road near my house, and it's pretty bad looking. So, I don't need to pay. There's clowns and everything.
The yard displays are scary enough.
We all have that one road, so yeah. I think that's free.
I hear you.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
I've got some great news if you're a big fan of winter. We were just complaining about the heat a little bit. Nikki, according to the good book.
It's the Almanac, right?
The Farmers Almanac.
Is that the thing?
No one knows where they get their information.
What is this mysterious book they always say about?
Where does it come from? They say that we're in for a very cold and snowy winter.
Oh, we are?
That's what they say.
That sounds good. I always like if you live in an area where you winter. I always like when you get that before Christmas time and then after, not so much.
So they're saying that if you live in the Pacific Northwest or the Southwest, you can expect a dry and mild winter. But in the Midwest, it's going to be a roaring winter.
Is that Mr. Winter?
That's what they say.
Okay.
I always come back to this, that every year people are like, man, it's so cold. Oh, it's like, it's winter.
Yeah, but in some areas it gets really cold.
But in some areas it's not winter. Like, I don't know. Have you ever lived on the Pacific Northwestern coast? You don't really get winter because ocean. Large bodies of water have a tendency to maintain temperatures. Now, of course, if you go far enough north or south, that changes. But still. Mm-hmm. So when people start freaking out about the weather, it's usually pretty seasonal. Like that's where seasons, we use that word because it comes back around.
That's how we describe it.
But Nikki, the good book, the Almanac.
That's they're just giving you a heads up that they're saying it might be more wintry of a winter.
Just a heads up, though. Oh my gosh, I don't remember this, but it must have been in the middle of everything else. Apparently, the Farmers Almanac last year predicted a polar coaster.
Oh, was that the term?
That's what they said.
Oh, that's awesome.
Polar
coaster.
They said that the snow was going to come
like
down that first hill into the United States, and we did not.
Hey, let's see what we get this year. Bring it on. It's ready.
They say that they did get some things from last year correct. I haven't looked at their list, but they have released their full report, and it's just a reminder. Wow, it's farmersalmanac.com. They'll tell you winter.
You don't even have to buy the book?
They're calling this the winter of the Great Divide. They're basically saying the western half of the United States, mild winter, eastern half, powerful.
Well, I guess we'll just wait and see what happens.
Yeah. So they're predicting winter. It's coming again this year.
Maybe the Riot would sound better if they spent less time improving their lives at their gym. That was sarcasm. It's the Riot on Radio U.
Nikki, Eric got a projector.
He did.
And I saw pictures of you using it.
Well, he got a projector, and then he's never done... if you have a projector, you put it on a wall, right?
Right.
And in the past, because Eric's real into theater and projectors and audio and video and all that stuff. So in the past, we've always done a painted wall that has a special projector paint for it.
Uh-huh.
And then you can frame it around and make it look really nice. But he got from an auction site a huge screen that he had to put together instead of using the paint. So we got all that ready to go. And so I thought, well, I'll just try this out. And I played some Animal Crossing on it.
And?
It's amazing. I forgot how amazing it is to have a wall of something.
I know, but okay. Like, what's the difference for you between that and, like, just you've got, what, a 70-inch TV? Like, sitting in your... Because...
Well, this is 150 inches, and it's life-size at that point.
That's true.
I'm literally looking at my Animal Crossing world.
Yeah.
So it's fun. I enjoy it.
So do you think that you'll go back?
I've been down there every night. Every night. It's not all completely set up. Like, he just got his receiver yesterday, so he has to finish up. But
sure.
I just have been having the best time.
And
I told him to tell me when he's ready for his time, so I'm not just squatting.
Hogging it.
Yeah, like, and taking up the time. But I've been there every night.
All right. So, well, you know what? Good for you. How's your island?
It's good.
It's enormous.
I've been decorating it and stuff. Does anybody know? This is what I was thinking when I was just watching the screen. I've not played any other Animal Crossing games.
Okay.
So I know it rains in Animal Crossing, but the other day I thought, does it snow in Animal Crossing? Will it snow?
8772 RadioU. Throw us a text. But I mean, the only thing I would say is that aren't you on a tropical island?
I know, but wouldn't they come out with a Christmas pack or something?
Well, they wouldn't call it Christmas.
It'd be a holiday world.
It'd be like winter holiday Zumba.
Yeah, my island could have a unseasonably cold winter, but I was just wondering. Do we get snow? Is that something I can look forward to?
Well, let's hear 8772 RadioU. I don't know the answer to that. I've never Animal Crossed.
It'd be really fun if that happened. So.
Well, I know that they will have winter holiday decorations.
Yeah, they will?
Yeah, well, here we go. Katie, she's an expert. She says, yes, it will snow during winter.
Okay,
we can catch snowflakes and make snow things.
That's all I needed to know. I'll keep going every day.
Oh, man.
I don't want real snow in real life, but it'd be nice. It'd be nice in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, you know what? That'll allow you to get all your snow jinx out.
That'd be great.
And then you can go on and live your best life.
Well, thank you, Katie. But Animal Crossing on a projector, a giant screen is just something else.
So Adam says you can get snow and even make snowmen.
When does that come out?
The fun. Well, you have to get to winter.
Why? Why do we? Why can't we just have it be a mode you could turn on or something?
I don't know the answer to that.
I mean, it's almost September, guys. It's practically Christmas.
It's practically Christmas.
We could forget everything else.
Nikki, you know that Reliant K song, Always Winter and Never Christmas? Mm-hmm. That's going to be what happens this year.
It's going to be long and hard.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So they announced over the weekend, actually, there was that DC Fandome thing, and they announced all kinds of things, but just in the background, just quietly, nobody really paying attention. They said that the CW is going to be making a live-action Powerpuff Girls that they'll have on TV involving 20-something Powerpuff Girls that are disillusioned.
The premise for the show is supposed to be like the Powerpuff Girls from the animated show. It's real life, though, but they've grown up and they're mad about how they had to fight crime and they didn't have a childhood sort of thing. And so now they're angry and angsty and all that stuff.
I can't begin to tell you how much I hate this.
I didn't think you would like its premise when I saw it. I thought, why are we doing this to the Powerpuff Girls?
I hate it. One of the great things about the Powerpuff Girls is how hilariously childlike they are, while also saving the world from who even knows what. Mojo, Jojo, whatever. I love Powerpuff Girls. I don't watch it that often anymore. Every once in a while I do. I absolutely have the Powerpuff Girls Christmas, and I watch it every Christmas. I love it.
So the part that you love about it is what they're completely taking
away.
That's
exactly right.
That's the entire part they're going to just ruin for you. And it'll be live action, which, I don't know. I don't feel like that crossover really works too well all the time.
It's going to be so ridiculous.
It'll just be a show.
Why? Okay. I actually understand why, but I'm railing against it a little bit. Just absolutely everything has to be about how once everything was one way, and now we're disillusioned, and we're this, and we're that, and we're angsty, and, all of that stuff. And I get it. That's like a phase of growing up. It's part of human development. For not everybody hits it, or I guess we hit it in varying levels.
Waves sometimes.
Yeah, et cetera, et cetera. And so I get it. I get it. But at the same time, every once in a while, it's okay to just have something where, what do these guys do? They save the world. Why? Well, there's a dark underbelly. Nah, there's no dark underbelly. This is it. It's all there is. We're just going to have something nice, and that's going to be all.
No, that's not what they're going to do this time. So if you liked the Powerpuff Girls, it's going to be ruined, or you'll either like it and maybe you didn't like the original Powerpuff Girls.
Well, you know what? I'll just say most of the CW reboots have not been exactly my cup of tea. So, this will just be, they have a particular demo and target and way they do things. I don't always fit the demo.
It's a formula. They're going to go and they're going to cast some 40-year-olds looking like they're in their very early 20s who are very angry, and that's it.
They'll be in their mid-50s playing their mid-20s before you know it.
I mean, that's what we come to love about the CW. There'll be some strange crossover with Supergirl or something like that.
That's
where
right.
They, join forces.
In the multiverse, thanks to the Flash, you can do anything you want.
They can, but I didn't catch when this is actually coming out. They were just saying that this is in development.
It's in development. It basically is nothing yet. But it's coming.
You're listening to The Riot. Let's all work together today to live life with the patience of a Nikki dealing with an Obadiah.
Gotta hang in there and get through it.
You're listening to The Riot.
No jury will convict her. No jury will convict her. I'm talking about Nicole. Nicole.
Oh.
Nikki, that's long for Nikki.
That's my real name, yes.
So Nicole.
But this is not me.
Was arrested by the police Sunday morning at 2 a.m. Well, she was apparently, they say, assaulting her father. Mm-hmm. Okay, she's 40, he's 59. So I'm just saying at 59, he's not that old, and she's old enough to be
she's 40?
Yeah. But they live together, and she was trying to get to sleep. Mm-hmm. And they started having a really intense verbal argument that turned physical, and he ended up with some scratches on his neck and a bloody eye.
What was he doing?
Well, Nikki, they were arguing over, and I quote, his flatulence. His flatulence was making it
Oh, and she beat him up for that?
Was making it hard for her to sleep.
Okay, well, is it medical or how bad was his stuff?
I don't know if it was medical.
They share a bedroom inside the house, so that's why.
Well, I mean, they're not sharing a bed. They're sharing a bed. They're in the same room.
I don't know. This all feels weird. The argument started, and then they started beating each other up.
Well, and see, that's why I say no jury will convict him, because I'll tell you, there's a feeling of hey, you shouldn't beat him up, but on the other hand, you should stop farting all the time. You can just hear the judge.
I'm just reading the police order.
I want to be in that courtroom.
She punched him on the face several times, had a bloody left eye, scratches on his neck of the attack.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's flatulence. It's right there. You know who else had a huge flatulence problem?
Who?
Hitler.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Where's this all? What is? I didn't need to learn that.
It's real.
Why?
I was reading.
What book are you reading?
I read all about it. It was fascinating. He had this doctor with him all the time who was treating him for all these things. Hitler was on some of the craziest drugs. He was.
Well, that I've heard.
He was straight tripping, yo.
Yeah.
The whole
time.
Yeah. And some of it was just because he had terrible evening flatulence. So remember
Thanks for sharing all this.
I'm just telling you.
Thanks for sharing this and that. So now that we have this in our minds.
So for all we know, she was rooming with Hitler. We don't know. I mean, at the very least, I like the idea of her screaming at him you know who else did this all the time, Hitler. And I'm not giving you the Sudetenland.
All right, well.
I'll show you, Blitzkrieg.
This seems like family problems, and they escalate, and this has probably been an issue for quite some time.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Had something happen yesterday that is... well, it's upsetting. I'll just tell you right now. I had a good friend of mine who has been with me for, I want to say 5 years, but I think it's probably more like 4.
Hey, that's a long-term relationship at that point.
Yeah. I had an Xbox Elite controller. Those are stupid expensive, and it was a gift. And yes, it was like over the weekend, but yesterday it became like the real deal. It got what they call stick drift, Nikki.
Oh, is it a known condition?
Yeah.
You drift when you...
The word is that, like, apparently those Xbox Elite controllers are kind of crappy. Like, the insides of them are not...
Are we talking like class action lawsuit crappy, or...
I think there's a class action lawsuit on the Elite 2 controller. These things are like $160 a piece. And, well...
So yours died?
Yeah.
You can't fix it?
No. You can't. Okay, I started looking at it, right? So you can, everybody says to clean it. Like, it's just clean it. And in fairness, I had a PlayStation 4 controller that had crazy stick drift. And I got some canned air and cleaned it out with that. Completely fixed it. No problem. Which is great, right? But this Xbox controller... That is, I paid $20 for that PlayStation 4 controller.
The expensive Xbox controller.
Yeah. So I tried the alcohol swabbing trick.
Sure.
I tried the canned
Q-tip.
air trick. Yeah, Q-tip. Nothing.
Can you take the face off of it or something and then clean?
What is this? John Travolta movie?
What do you mean? That's
take the face off of this and you put it on this.
Well, no, like, can't you take it apart and then clean it? Like, maybe you needed a deeper clean.
Well, it's funny you say that. Apparently, you want to talk about wandering into a weird spot on the internet. Look at the relationships that people do have with their controllers. I mean, you'll see people. I found a YouTube video that was like, this will fix your stick drift. I looked at a few of them. They're like 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
And just starting to watch them, I was like, oh, I don't know, guys. Like, this looks like maybe not. I mean, I do have a soldering iron.
Why don't you try it? What's the worst? You ruin it? It's already ruined.
I mean, yeah.
This could be a weekend project, and the pride you would have if you fixed it. This could be like Obadiah's side business, where he'll fixing your
controllers.
Xbox controller with stick drift. Is that what we're dealing with?
Yeah, it is.
That could be your thing.
Yeah, you know what's great is I had this is my only Xbox controller, and I had another one, and I gave it to a friend. And you know why?
Take it back.
Because I was like, you know what? I don't need 2. He doesn't have one.
And
I have 2. Here, brother. Take this Xbox controller and use it as thou wilt to enjoyest thy life to thine fullest.
That's why you're actually supposed to keep 2 things, because you never know when the more expensive item will break.
So the nice one is now essentially worthless.
And you can't ask for the other one back?
No.
Does he listen?
No, he doesn't.
Do you want to anonymously
Someone
send him
accidentally
this?
bumps into him.
Yeah, we can make this work.
No.
Do you want me to call him and just say, hey, I just want to let you know that...
No, I think I'm just going to have to buy one. Here's the thing that's I think really stinks is that the new Xbox comes out in a couple of months.
Yeah.
And they're releasing new controllers for that. And I was like, oh, maybe...
You wait till then?
I'll wait till they come out. But in the meantime, my characters won't stop walking forward. They just walk endlessly, nonstop.
Well, we're supposed to walk. That's getting in more steps.
You go to a menu and it just scrolls up so fast. And you're like, stop! I'm trying to choose something.
So is it unplayable?
I don't know. Like, it's kind of playable.
Are we having a grateful and thankful attitude with our controller?
Aren't we?
Okay.
I mean, did I chuck it? No, I just said, you know what? We'll make this work.
Okay.
We'll just tough it out.
So wouldn't they be selling the older Xbox remotes for cheaper if you just wait longer?
No,
When the newer ones come out?
No, they don't do that. There's no deals.
There's no deals to be had?
No, I'll just tell you.
Why don't you go on Facebook Marketplace and buy an old one?
Because it'll probably have drift in it. They'll be like...
Now you know to ask for that. Is this drift-free?
Do you guys have a drift-free controller? And they're going to be like, oh, you're a sweet kid.
You can't have that.
They don't make those,
Well,
son.
I'm sorry to hear that you're going through this.
It's a difficult time for all of us.
It is. And now we know what to just, be praying for. That it works itself out.
To be praying for. You know what? Go ahead.
Take it apart. It'll be fine.
You go right ahead. You know what? I didn't quite think about it the way you just said it.
It doesn't hurt it anymore.
Maybe I will. You know what? It's already in so much pain.
Yeah.
It can't feel anymore.
And maybe you could actually end up fixing it.
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Too many guys got the stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's The Riot on Radio U.
All right, Nikki, you just want to jump right into our 11 easy ways to give your morning routine a healthy boost?
I think that would be good.
Okay, so
now maybe some of these could be helpful. Let's think about it in a good way.
Okay, so these are from the Today Show, and they say, 1, you immediately move into yoga when you roll out of bed.
Oh my gosh, it is this type of list.
Ready?
Actually, you could do that. You could work out, but just not us. We can't get it any earlier than we do.
I've tried.
So it's very hard, but maybe you guys can roll out of bed right into yoga.
They say a mini version of a sun salute, which of course means
that's
nothing to me.
a yoga pose.
I'm sure it is. Sure. Number 2, coffee meditation.
Oh.
Instead of checking in on social media while you're drinking coffee, try some meditation exercises.
While still having your coffee?
Yeah, I love this one. This is my favorite one, maybe. Smoothie squats. Okay.
I don't like these. I don't like this list. What are they doing? Why is it one thing, beverage, and one thing like workout or body helpful thing?
You ready for this? After you hit blend on your smoothie, do 10 rapid fire squats. Do this.
I guess.
Yeah, okay, all right. How about the shower twist? Okay, now we're doing something. I take showers in the morning, okay? Take the time to squeeze in a quick ab workout while you're taking a shower.
Why can't I just take a shower? Why do I have to work out during the shower?
We're giving it a boost.
I have long hair. That's already my workout in the shower. I have to wash my hair.
Standing with your feet shoulder width apart. Make sure your shower floor isn't slippery. Pick up a bottle of shampoo or conditioner and twist your body to engage your core. If you don't have a nearly full bottle of shampoo or conditioner, just point your arms straight in front of you.
If you have the shower space.
Right. I mean, they
are assuming a lot.
How many shower heads do they have in their shower? Like, that thing is... Okay.
It seems like they have a spacious shower.
I'm going to skip ahead. How about hair curling arm toning? You never know how strong your arms are until you're trying to curl your hair. Make sure you're holding the curling iron or wand like you would a weight. Keep your arm at a 90-degree angle and make sure to hold your hair
Listen,
for a
I can barely dry my hair. I only dry the front top part because that's the presentable part. We just let the rest air dry. I don't think there's time for curling.
So they say, like, while you're either ironing or steaming your clothes.
We don't iron. This isn't for us. This is not our list.
How about improve your balance by standing on one foot at a time?
While you're ironing?
Yeah.
Who irons? We don't iron T-shirts.
All right, you ready? Toe touches while you put on your shoes?
I have slip-ons. I wear slides. I don't wear shoes.
I got one more.
To die.
The morning commute neck roll.
Uh-huh.
Whether you're, take a break to stretch your neck, can be a great tension tamer. Roll your neck from the right side.
From the right to the left.
To the left.
And just feel
roll
the
it
tension
backwards.
away.
Do this for about 30 seconds. Just roll.
No, thanks. It's all too much. Well, you do need to do that when you've had a busy morning of yoga and shower ab workouts.
Well, you got to get all that tension out.
Yeah. So that's from the Today Show. That's some things you could be doing in the morning.
Yeah.
Look
at all the stuff that we've added to your routine. It's so good.
I don't feel like they've connected with the everyday average person, and I think we wanted to take away things from our routine.
In fairness, it's not like I'm watching the Today Show, but, I saw this list and I thought, hey.
Let's see what they say.
It's always really funny to see just how far behind I really am.
Let's just give our tips and our list. If you're getting up and you manage to get where you were supposed to go and you're somewhat on time, then you've done a really good job. If you got a shower while you were doing it, fantastic.
I mean, so what if your hair's wet? You made it.
You can figure out everything else later in the day.
Wet hair is the new...
it'd be wrong of you to use the electricity and blow dry your hair and do anything else.
Well, it's virtue signaling. You're like, I took a shower, but I'm not wasting the electricity
You're not being
to get
wasteful.
it dry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm letting nature do its job.
It's just enough to get up in the morning, right? We don't have to add the morning yoga and the coffee meditation to the list.
Oh, and don't forget your toe touches before you put your shoes on.
Toe touches.
You're listening to the worst of the riot, Radio U.
Okay, Nikki, I told you I was going to have you drifting through the corners of your neighborhood. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, what do we got?
Are you ready?
Yes, what are we doing?
I'll tell you what we're doing. We're getting a Lambo.
A Lamborghini?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we getting a Lamborghini?
Because Lamborghini is teaming up with Chinese company Xiaomi to make an electric Lamborghini scooter.
Ooh.
Well, not scooter, go-kart.
Go-kart? You've always wanted a go-kart.
Always. It looks awesome.
I'm trying to see where the picture is.
Well, I just sent you a link if you want to see it.
I'll take a look.
But it looks fantastic.
Yay!
Doesn't that look like fun?
I'm still logging in.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm going to look at in a moment.
It will be the 9-bot Go-Kart Pro Lamborghini Edition. It's a scooter base which can be removed from the base of the tiny racer and used independently. Mm-hmm. It looks wonderful.
And how much is it going to be?
$1,446.
That's actually not bad. I mean, this is not like a big go-kart. It looks more like...
Well, I mean, it's adult size.
It's a personal use, just a very small one.
Yeah, I mean...
It doesn't seem to have like the roll cage like I envision with some carts. More like the ATVs.
Sure. Well, it's not an ATV. This thing is really for... I mean, you guys have a go-kart track at home, right?
Where are you supposed to use this thing?
It's your go-kart track.
Well, no, I don't know if this even works. It'd have to be paved. I don't think this works well on like a dirt track.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's what I meant. I mean,
it's got to be paved.
Yeah.
Our paved outdoor go-kart track.
Don't you guys have one?
I don't. I don't. So it's the 9-bot Go-Kart Pro Lamborghini Edition. It's a scooter base, like you were saying.
How much do you pay for that house?
So you can
got ripped off.
You can actually, get 2 vehicles for the price of one, since you can remove the base of it.
So it doesn't. Here's what I love. It is an electric vehicle, so it doesn't make very much noise. So they have a way that you can get the file to it'll connect to a Bluetooth speaker, and you can make it sound like it'll broadcast the sound
of a Lamborghini.
Of a Lamborghini's engine.
That's a good idea.
So it will feel a little more quote unquote authentic.
So again, not sure where you could use this at, but it'll go 24.9 miles per hour.
I say we just get it and
depending
then figure
on your weight.
out.
So I just want to let you know that, if their study size is smaller, it will not go as fast if you are not the same size as that.
I wish I was thinner.
Just for this reason?
Well, I mean, for that and clothing, but that's a different story.
I'm also curious how long the battery would last. Like how could you actually, is this thing street legal or no? It doesn't look street legal.
Doubt that it's street legal, but it doesn't mean I don't want to have it.
$1,400.
You know what? Speaking of wanting to lose weight, let's talk Lucky Charms.
That'll get you into the Lamborghini of your dreams.
This is gonna. I've got the help we need. Between
let's
the toe touches
and that and the smoothie squats. Let's not think about the Lamborghini scooter anymore, and just let's make the best version of us possible, and then we'll work into fitting into that.
Maybe that's just not. Maybe the best us doesn't have a go-kart.
Possibly. I don't actually think we'd fit in that too. So
don't say it like that.
Well, I mean, we're taller. We're all legs.
Yeah,
so
that's what it is.
We're just very tall.
Between these long legs and these big bones.
How could you possibly get in there?
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Having a problem here, so we're gonna move the Lucky Charms story.
We're shifting that,
but we're gonna go ahead and stay with the fat theme. So, don't feel totally bad about it.
Let's just think of it as our comfortable theme.
Comfortable. Well, listen, I'm getting up doing yoga, toe touches, and smoothie squats. By the time I get to the end of the day, I'm hungry and I don't want to cook, which is why people like Domino's are there for you. Okay, they're there. They're there with their newly announced taco pizza.
And a cheeseburger pizza. I could really get into that. That sounds good.
Isn't it? Oh, I'm going to...
What? I heard a tone start, so let's change our tone first before we ask our question.
Okay.
Isn't all pizza just that?
Nikki, isn't a cheeseburger pizza just a pizza with hamburger instead of pepperoni?
Obi. I'm glad you asked.
Me too, Nikki. I look forward to your explanation.
No, it needs have you ever made like a cheeseburger, like a dish or something you add like mustard and ketchup and that Worcestershire sauce into the hamburger meat, so it has a different flavor.
Well, here's what you would find on a Domino's cheeseburger pizza.
Yes.
Beef, onions, diced tomatoes,
American cheese,
American,
shredded provolone,
cheddar cheese,
and there it is.
Ketchup mustard hybrid sauce.
Yeah.
So like instead of pizza sauce, there's a mustard ketchup sauce on this thing.
That's what they're doing.
That sounds awful.
I'm in.
Okay, you report back from the front.
I will.
Okay,
I'll handle that one.
You do that.
Maybe you'd like the taco pizza.
No, but we'll look at it. Grilled chicken, taco seasoning, fresh onions, green peppers, diced tomatoes.
The same provolone and American cheese.
And some cheddar.
They're just reusing it all.
Basically, it's all the same ingredients except taco seasoning and grilled chicken.
Yeah. So that'll be... Are they already there? I think they're already there.
It says both pizzas can be purchased for $11.99 at participating locations.
What do you think, Tummy? You want to have a cheeseburger pizza for dinner tonight?
You're having one, aren't you? You're in. I can tell.
Do you want to have a delivery company bring it to me and pay higher premium pricing?
Nikki, it's Domino's. You don't have to have a delivery company bring it.
You can, but you feel extra bougie when you do that. It's like even the place, the delivery place is not good enough. You're like,
I make Uber Eats bring me the delivered pizza.
It's all the same. What? It's all the same.
What are you doing?
So I think I would try the cheeseburger pizza first.
All right. Wow. Look. Okay. Okay. Listen, I don't want this to be like fat for days, but Nikki and I are going to have to come back in a minute because we have two other food items that are launching that.
It's what people want to know. You guys want to hear about this stuff.
I'll tell you this right now. I'm like, my menu just got filled.
Lisa just texted, said, add bacon to the cheeseburger pizza. That'd be even better.
Actually, that sounds great.
Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Man. So we were just talking about the Domino's cheeseburger pizza and taco pizza.
In case you're like, what's the big news today?
Listen, this is the stuff that's important.
Well, this is the stuff you need to know about.
Okay, so apparently McDonald's
This is actually big news.
They're going to be pumping out spicy chicken nuggets.
Nice.
What?
So it's interesting, though. The McDonald's spicy chicken nuggets will be breaded with a tempura batter that's seasoned with chili and
Kanye West sauce.
Why does that not sound right? Cayenne, that's it. Jeez.
He's running for president, and he's revolutionizing the chicken McNugget industry.
Kanye's just always in the news, and I never use cayenne pepper or powder. So that's
Do you
what
never?
No, I don't.
It'll add a little kick.
Well, I don't want a kick.
I like some kick.
So that's why I'm not.
But not too much.
So that's what they do with the spicy chicken nuggets, and they're also going to be doing a brand new dipping sauce, the first time since 2017.
They've added a sauce.
Doesn't seem like that long ago, actually. But they're doing a mighty hot sauce to go with it. It'll be a blend of red pepper, spicy cheeses, savory garlic, and a little bit of sweetness.
That doesn't interest me as much.
No?
I typically do not, while I like spicy seasoning, I tend to not like hot sauces.
So you might like the spicy nugget better than the sauce.
A spicy nugget dipped in a good old sweet and sour.
I'm excited. I'd like a spicy chicken nugget.
Okay, remember we
From
told
McDonald's?
you. Wait, there's more. That doesn't come out till September 16th. 5 days before my birthday. Guess what I'm having on my birthday?
Spicy chicken nuggets?
Spicy chicken nuggets.
What day is it?
September 16th.
September 16th. Just a little reminder.
Write that down.
It's a big day.
Then the other thing that we'll throw out at you while we've got all of these food innovations. I mean, just changing the face of this country and certainly the waistline. The people at Little Caesars have now introduced the 50% It's half
pizza, half breadsticks.
It's technically called the Slices and Sticks
it's
pizza.
A monster.
You know what? I'll tell you. I'm a monster.
You've created a monster.
You know, when you look at it, it's basically
it's like half done.
I feel like it's Little Caesars admitting, all right, it's all the same stuff.
It is. It looks identical. It looks identical. They just cut, people cut breadsticks different, so it's just cut different, and then it doesn't have the pepperoni.
Right, and probably no sauce, right?
Pretty much.
So what they've done is they've taken the sauce off the pizza and put it on the side.
They've made the pizza less for them to make because there's no pepperoni and sauce on that part. And then I'm sure it's maybe a little bit much for us to buy.
I still want to eat it right now.
Last time I went to the pickup section, I got sick on one, so I can't.
Did you really?
Yeah. I drive by
like
and I think
sick?
Pretty sick.
Okay, because I mean, like, there's layers or levels.
It was enough to where I know it was them. And we can't do that anymore.
It was identifiable as, and we'll leave it at that.
Eric was sick as well, and there was just the one combining factor there.
Yeah,
so it's the Slices and Stick pizza from Little Caesars, which will be available starting on the 31st for $6.
They can keep that. I want these spicy chicken McNuggets.
Way to go, McDonald's. That sounds good. We want these spicy chicken nuggets.
The Riot Radio U.
I'll tell you, earlier in the show, we talked about DC's Fandome that happened over the weekend. We talked about the Batman trailer. We talked about Gotham Knights. So if you want to hear that stuff, you should just go ahead and subscribe to our podcast. It's going to be in the podcast today, and that's Worst of the Riot. You can search for it on Google Play. You can find it on iTunes. You can find it on Spotify. Like, basically, if you can find a podcast somewhere, that's where you'll find it.
And if you don't want to use a podcast app, you can just check out Radio U Riot on our Facebook page. We post it there every day. And Radio U Riot on our YouTube channel. It also goes there.
And it's in the Radio U app.
Well, yes, too.
So
it's
basically
everywhere.
What we're saying is that if you don't want to hear it, or if you want to hear it,
it's
you're
available.
going to be tripping over it to find it.
So hopefully you enjoy that today.
Right. The other thing that they talked a bit about, and I watched the trailer for this weekend, is Zack Snyder's Justice League Director's Cut. Now, they say that's coming to HBO Max next year. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be 4 hours long.
The director, the movie, the what?
It will be 4 1-hour things.
Now, I thought they said...
Or you can watch it in its entirety.
Are they having like some sort of documentary around it as well, or is that just the entire thing?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I mean, that very well may be true, but...
Maybe I heard the 4 hour, like 1 hour things, and I thought, surely the whole movie can't be that long.
It is. I'm sorry that it can be.
So that'll be on HBO Max next year?
Yes. So they're saying they're treating it like a mini series or a show, like 4 1-hour episodes, or you can watch it in its entirety.
Now, is that the thing they mentioned too? They'll figure out how to do that internationally since HBO Max is not available everywhere yet?
I guess.
So let's just have to see where you're at.
Yeah. I mean, from a business standpoint, this is a really cheap way to get something pretty not spectacular. I don't want to make a value
They're getting some traction out of something that they would have thrown away.
Exactly. They're going to spend, I think they said, around $30 million on this. To get premium content like that, you'd have to spend so much more money than that. The filming is done. They just have to do the special effects. It's crazy.
It could actually get new subscribers to HBO Max from this sort of thing compared to just coming up with a whole new series.
Well, I don't want to sound ugly about it, but if they're not going to offer it in 4K, where can I get that one?
Aw.
That's what I want.
I don't know if they would,
because wimpy little HBO Max is like HD only, and I'm like, come on.
Yeah, that would be something to ask, I'm sure.
Like, hello?
Well, so what they sometimes do is they'll wait way later.
So much later and
put
it
it
out on
it'll
disc.
come out on a disc.
Yeah, so I don't know. I wonder, one, is it going to be any good? Because everyone seems to, and by everyone, I mean nerd culture, of which I am a part, it's like, this is going to fix everything that's ever been wrong with the world.
You'll see.
When they release... Exactly. Like, listen, all of a sudden, like, dogs and cats are getting along. There's not going to be Republicans and Democrats anymore. We're all going to be in this together. You'll see.
Yes.
Okay?
It'll be fine.
When at the end of the day, remember how much we didn't like Batman v Superman? Does anybody else remember that? I do.
Well, it'll be interesting to watch, but you'll have to wait on HBO Max. I think it was earlier next year, like spring, summer.
Yeah. And you know what, though? I'm curious because, that being said, I think Zack Snyder makes really cool-looking movies.
That's all we're really looking for right now.
So
just give us a blockbuster-looking thing. It'll be fine.
With some spicy chicken nuggets.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
Now, it may seem very inappropriate for someone to have a favorite COVID-19 outbreak. And
just track with Obi and walk along with him.
I get that. I do. It seems incredibly inappropriate. But when I tell you about the nudist resort where the COVID-19 outbreak took place, you get it, don't you?
So this was in France. They had 100 nudists test positive for COVID-19. They had an outbreak, but they said they were wearing masks. Just don't know. But your clothing is the mask for your body, so I don't know.
The idea of, I get it, okay? COVID-19, it spreads through the droplets in the air or whatever. But think about just how much of yourself you are exposing.
Sure.
In there. And I think, Nikki, you nailed it. Your clothing is the mask for your body.
And we're already wearing those. And most of us don't fight about that, but here they do. They don't want to wear anything.
They feel about their clothes the way you feel about your mask. You know what? It covers up too much of me. I can't express myself.
Takes away the freedom.
Having a hard time breathing.
The freedom of naked.
I need to be free.
So here in France, they're having a continual outbreak as well, just like here in other countries. Outbreaks continue to happen. They're having another soar in the cases that they're having there. And so they told the nudist resort to comply with social distancing, wearing face masks as well. But they had a problem where the people would return back to their village, and they've had up to 100 people test positive for it. The pictures are awful, by the way, too. It's just awful. There's not enough pixeling going on. Like, I don't know who created this picture thing. It's something, and it's a lot to look at.
I would love to be mature about this, but I just can't.
You just can't.
I just can't. So I just look at this, and they're like, nudists were told to comply with social distancing and wearing masks. How about you put on some freaking clothes?
They didn't say that.
I know, but maybe they should.
So in France, they made masks a requirement for all indoor spaces at the end of July. Very few exceptions to that.
Dre says, and I quote, "This just shows you masks don't work." No, it doesn't.
No, you just also need your clothes. You need it all.
And, okay, can I just say, like, I'm going to pivot for just a minute here. Like, everybody running around saying masks don't work. Guys, listen, the idea behind masks is not that they are going to be 100% effective. They're like, I don't know what percentage we then give them. We're just playing averages. We're just trying to make it better. They're not 100% effective, but okay. You know what? I'm going to say something.
What are you going to say?
I don't think it's medical, so I don't think it's inappropriate. But you know what? Like, masks aren't 100% effective. Neither are condoms. But we're handing those out and have been for years. And people are still like, well, we'll use these.
See what you're saying there.
Same idea. You're playing odds.
So the nudist resort says that they have a lot of indoor locations, shops and banks and bars and clubs.
How many?
It's a resort. It's like
How big is this? It has a bank and a store?
It's like a village. It is a village.
It's a naked village?
It takes a naked village.
To raise a COVID?
To this. So they've had an outbreak there.
Yeah. No, it seems to me that, you're probably excreting various things.
We are not mature enough for
and then
this.
You're not covered. So someone's excreting, you're not covered. And the next thing you know, you're all naked and COVID-y together. What are we doing?
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Just throw some sauce in a bucket and we'll just come.